Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Matt, and this is my brother Anthony. We're from the PD Group Wealth Management, and this is the Finance Things in Life. And today, we have a special guest.
Our first special guest.
We have Eric from the Eveland Group.
Hey, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I'm excited.
Yeah?
Appreciate you guys having me as your number one.
Your number one draft pick.
Yeah, that's
This
right.
is big.
Da-da-da.
I'm flattered. I really am.
Yeah, maybe
love
we
you
can
guys.
put in the draft music,
Have a little ticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so how this came up is, we work with 401ks a lot, business owners and HR, and a lot of the times, they have questions regarding benefits, and we're not the experts in the benefits department. So we brought in our local benefit expert, Eric, from the Eveland Group to kind of talk a little bit today about benefits and in the business, and maybe what you can do to
Enlighten
kind
us
of
all.
help the employees.
Yeah, I'm excited to share. Definitely.
Yeah, so to, I guess, kick it off, why don't you tell us a little bit about your business and how you got here today?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think it's worth noting a little bit about my history and where I come from, and it ultimately kind of fed into this business ownership aspect of my life that I'm currently in. I started years ago, it's about 14 years ago, as an advisor. Actually, I was similar to you guys. I was an advisor for about 2 years, and then a local brokerage firm had recruited me, gave me a call actually at one of my own events. And so they were very interested in working together with me. I ended up hearing them out, and ultimately it was a great match. So I went to work for them, and I was working with them for the past 11 years. My primary focus there was all about individual insurances, talking and working with advisors to help them with individual life insurance, disability, long-term care, fixed annuities. I was that insurance specialist, if you will, right? As my career grew, I started focusing more energies on advisors that were working with business owners. So the advisors that I worked with weren't very comfortable talking about those protection planning strategies to the clients themselves, so they oftentimes invited me in. Yeah. Well, I'd talk to somebody about buy-sell arrangement or a key person policy. But at the end of that conversation, I got the exact same question over and over again. Can you help me with my health insurance, right? So about 6-7 years ago, I decided to approach my then firm and said, hey, I feel like this could be a big need that we could fill for a lot of our advisors about helping their business owner clients handle the benefits piece of the puzzle for their business clients, right? We handle all of it. My firm agreed. It was definitely a great aspect that we should take advantage of. And so we rolled that out, and it was pretty successful over some time. What ended up happening is I had these big grandiose ideas of what we could do and how we could do it better and what different approaches that we could take. And I decided that if I really wanted to take that approach and be as grandiose as I thought it could be and really live in that dream, the only way to really accomplish that was to own my own business.
Yeah, take the leap.
Yep.
So 2 years ago, I decided after some significant planning and a whole lot of begging my wife for permission, she...
That's important.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest part of it, right?
100% was. After getting her good graces, we ended up moving forward and decided to call it the Eveland Group. My name's Eric Eveland, and we were extremely creative when we came up with that name.
Sounds eerily familiar. Yeah.
The PD Group?
The PD Group, the Eveland Group.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
We're really great.
I like the way you came.
Benefits.
I like the way you came up with
Conventions aren't
that.
our thing. Yeah.
Make it really personal,
Exactly.
Hey,
If you have
people will
faith
know
in
who we are.
If
That's
you
the
have faith in
important
your
thing.
business, you put your name on it.
That's right.
That's what I was always told.
I love that. It's
Yeah.
a great philosophy.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm on board with that. So here we are. We're 2 years almost in the making. We have almost 5 employees with us, and we've been rocking and rolling ever since. It's been great.
Cool.
Just I think one more quick thing just to dive into to tell you a little bit about my actual business and what we do. So we have a unique approach to employee benefits, right? 100% of all of our business comes from referrals, actually from specialists just like you, right? So what we do is we partner with retirement plan specialists like you guys, payroll companies, insurance agents, financial advisors. And what we do is we handle, just like I did before, the benefits piece of the puzzle for all those business owner clients, right? And what that does is that gives you an avenue to refer some of those clients to a relationship that doesn't intersect with what you guys are doing. Because I don't do any of the retirement plan piece. I don't do any of the payroll piece. I don't do any of the individual planning piece. I strictly focus on the medical, the dental, the vision, the life, disability, and then some of the other ancillary benefits that are out there.
Yeah. Do you think that's a strength of your business, that you're able to kind of focus on those specific pieces of the puzzle instead of trying to have your hand in, the investment side of it, the payroll side of it, and everything else?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it's often a question that a lot of my clients ask, right? I feel as though it is a strength. And the reason that I think it's a strength is that we're good at the benefits piece, and we know we're good at the benefits piece. Could we take on the payroll piece? Sure, we could probably hire the right individual. There's plenty of easy softwares that are out there that could help us manage the payroll. I'm licensed to sell insurances, so could do the individual insurance pieces of the puzzle. But what we like to do is we think that because we're good at the benefits piece, we stay in our lane. Yeah, right? And then we can rely on experts like you guys in the 401k world to really bring home and show a really great experience on that piece of the puzzle instead.
Right.
Yeah. What's that saying? A master of all is a master of none, or something like that?
Is that what it is?
Something along those lines. Yeah.
But yeah, no, we agree. I mean, I think it's hard to, we've had clients that, ask if we do CPA work, and we don't. It's maybe something that we've talked about, and I'm sure we could hire or bring on the right CPA, but, we know what we do best, and we know what we want to focus on. And there's other experts out there that we could always bring in and loop in to, bring the needs of the client, to the table. So
we know what we do best. We know the people to reach out to answer the questions that we don't either want to deal with the answers or don't have the answers for.
Yeah, and I mean, if we take a look at both of our industries, right? A health insurance, for example, is an ever-changing environment. Mm-hmm. It's extremely hard to dabble. You as an advisor to just occasionally do a healthcare plan or help with dental or vision, right? You'll never grasp the full concept. Are you providing the right resources for your client? Are you actually doing the correct planning? Are you keeping up to date with the compliance piece of the puzzle? A lot of moving parts. No different than the 401k piece, right? It's the exact same beast, just in a different aspect, right? Yeah. And so that's why I think it's really important. Either you're all in or you don't do it at all. Right. That's my philosophy.
Yeah, I mean, just think about all the rules and regulations that are always changing, and to try to stay on top of everything, bringing up, the CPA aspect of it, the tax code. I could spend my entire, day learning that, and then you lose the investment side of it. So, I agree.
Yeah, the tax code is one thing that with all the law changes, different regulations, the different nuances of taxes. Really thankful that we don't touch that part of it. Right. The finance side, the retirement side is complicated enough. We don't need to dive into the tax side.
No. Well, and that's the other thing, by being able to focus on, one industry, education's a huge part of it, right? Educating the employees, the clients on just the regulation changes within the 401k industry is important. How much can you contribute? What are the IRA changes that you can contribute? The Roth conversion options and things like that. So there's always these, now that with the Secure Act and Secure Act 2.0, a lot of these small businesses, depending on how many employees they have to have a retirement plan. So providing that education is huge. So I'm assuming that's a big focus at the Eveland Group, is because we all know that benefits seem to be ever changing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we focus an incredible amount of energy on the actual employee experience, right? And by doing that, a large percentage of everything that we do goes into that education piece, right? Because what we find is a large percentage of employees, and we could even lump in some employers on this, really don't understand how their health plan works, right? Or let alone any of the other benefits that they might have in place. What's a deductible? What's a copay or co-insurance? How does my out-of-pocket maximum work? When we look at solutions or plans like a health plan, it's such an incredibly high cost solution that almost everybody has to have, right? And for somebody to spend that amount of money but not truly understand how it works is kind of unforgivable, right? So what we do is we like to focus a lot of our energies, again, showcasing how these benefits work, how they can most take advantage of them. And to do that, we do a couple of things. So we would do this in conjunction, and we've talked about this before, is looking at pre-enrollment meetings, doing educational sessions, showcasing how the benefits work for the employees prior to their enrollment. That way, when they go into their open enrollment and it's time to now make their benefit elections, they're going to be able to do that in an educated way. What's best for me and my family, right? That's one of the biggest key things when it comes to the education.
Well, I got to imagine it's got to help with not only retaining employees, but attracting new ones. In a competitive job market, if you have a business that you're focusing so much money towards as far as benefits go, and you're providing these benefits for your employee, you want to be educated. So when you're trying to bring in new talent, top talent, I would imagine in your business, no one wants to hire a bad employee. You want to make sure you know your nuts and bolts of your benefits, because that's going to be a huge part of retaining them.
It's huge. Think about some of the small businesses, right? Let's jump over to small business arena. Small businesses have a little bit more difficulty being extremely competitive in that new hire market, right? They can't offer top dollar for incomes for these people, but what they can do is they can put together a really nice benefits package. And by doing that, now they can kind of look and feel like they're a large business. Right. They can provide those employees with this kind of great benefits experience where it looks like they're working with a large company. You guys would probably hear about this all the time, right? Yeah. You roll out a nice 401k benefit. As simple as that benefit is to the employee, it's huge, especially if the employer is able to do a small match with that, right? And on top of that, you build your other benefit strategy, your health plan, your disability, your vision, your dental, and all of that. Now they have a ton of different options that they can choose from at a relatively reasonable cost for the employer.
Yeah, and then understanding just the dollars and cents of it. If you've got employees that are, maybe a little disgruntled about their pay, if you're a small business, you can say, hey, look at your benefits. This is how much money you're saving. Yes, you could leave and go earn, 5-10 grand more somewhere else, but you're going to be spending 5-10 15 grand more somewhere else because their benefits probably aren't as good.
Yeah. Or if one company has a match and the other one doesn't, I mean, that's free money that sometimes, employees don't realize that.
And then that money's compounding.
Right.
So they're not even thinking about that. Yes, it's maybe like, if you're doing safe harbor and you're getting 4%, if you're contributing 5%, now that money's compounding every time you put it in. That just continues to add up over time.
And that's bringing back the whole education piece of it, because you might provide all these benefits, whether it's employee benefits, health, dental, etc., or a 401k. Educating the employees so they understand what they have is important. So having those experts come in that can provide that education is truly important.
And you know what we did? So, and I don't know if you guys have ever taken an approach like this, but I find that a lot of people are visual learners, right? They have to see things in action. They have to see graphs, or they have to see dollar signs, and they have to see visually what it means. So one of the things that we did is we developed a series of short animated explainer videos that are designed to make benefits a little bit easier to grasp in a fun way. Because let's face it, it's insurance. How fun is insurance? Right? No different than a 401k. So let's add a little bit of flair to this Yeah, right. And so what we did is we made these series of these animated videos, and it's literally a little bald guy who runs around on the screen.
How'd you get the reference for that?
So what we use is actually Animaker. So it's really nice. You go in there, you can create your own little videos. It takes some time to get used to it. But I tell you what, we've gotten some incredible feedback. We have a whole YouTube channel dedicated to these videos. We've got about 7 created. We've got about 8 more to go. It's been a really great tool for educating.
Yeah.
Might have to look into that.
Might have to. I like that idea.
Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have anyone that's bald. It wouldn't be bald. We'd have to add hair.
Yeah. Wouldn't be as jacked though. I mean,
that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'd have to be a slim body figure.
Yeah, they've got all walks of life. Actually, most of them are pretty skinny. My guy is a really skinny guy, so it would look more like Matt, just bald. Right.
So I know, because our benefits are coming up here shortly, and we kind of got the quote recently as far as what our costs are going to be going up, and I think it was like 16% increase from last year. So it's just, and it doesn't seem to ever end.
I was going to say, is it ever coming down?
Yeah. I don't think so. I think the costs are going to be forever going up.
Taxes
and increasing benefit costs. Yeah, health insurance. we have another one that are all guarantees.
Taxes and health insurance are going to be the two.
Right. But what are some strategies to kind of maybe combat those forever increasing costs?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So, I think, let's back it up and let's just talk about the broad range. And let's focus here in New York, because predominantly a lot of our clients are here in the New York arena. Right. When we take a look at Rochester, basically over to the Albany area, for the most part, it seems like there's really only a couple of key carriers that are even playing in this field. Excelis being number one, right? They're the most competitive premium. And by competitive, that's a very loose terminology, right?
When you're the only one, you can be
it's almost as much by mortgage.
Right. And so for the most part, they do have a cornerstone on the market. Close behind them and coming up is MVP as well, right? Now, this is a small business market. We work predominantly in the small business market, the under 100 people groups, right? So what you see is that Excelis kind of taken the cake in that entire realm. Oftentimes people are asking me, do you have other health plan options? And the unfortunate answer is we don't, right? Yes, we have access to the other carriers in the market, just nobody's as competitive as they are, all right? So what we have to do is we have to get a little bit creative on our end about, okay, what can we do given the predetermined facts that, let's just say, Excelis is going to be your carrier? How can we combat that? There's really 2 easy conversations that I love to start with groups because they're easy ways that a lot of actually groups can take advantage of. So let's talk first about Child Health Plus. Okay. So Child Health Plus, if you're not familiar with it, it's a health plan designed for children between the ages of 0 and 19. And the premiums are going to be determined based on your household size as well as your household income. So if you fall within the parameters of this household size and household income, the cost per child could be anywhere between $0 per month up to $60 per month. Let's say on the other end of the spectrum, though, that your income falls outside of those guidelines, right? Well, in that situation, you would end up paying the maximum cost, which currently is roughly $250 per month per child. Now, let's talk about the plan itself. Child Health Plus is unique in the fact that there is no deductibles, there's no co-pays or co-insurances, it's just pure coverage. So if your kids go to the doctor, there is no copay, right? It's covered. They need prescriptions, it's covered. Do they need a surgery next year? Also fully covered with no additional costs. So it has some really unique advantages in that regard.
Do they have an adult health plus?
I wish they did. I really wish they did.
Sign me up.
Yeah. So I look at that situation though, when we consider the lowest cost health plan, total cost is roughly about $600 per month, give or take, right? And that's a high deductible health plan with roughly $8,000 of deductible. Okay, well, what if instead we rolled my child into Child Health Plus? Even if I'm paying that $250 per month per child, right, if you rolled 2 children into that, that could be less cost than if you were to go on your employer's plan, right? Not only that, think about it in an employer perspective. A lot of employers like to contribute towards the family level premiums. Yep. What if that employee could save money by opting in for Child Health Plus, and in turn, the employer doesn't have to pay for those family contributions, right? So not only are we saving money for the employee, we could be potentially saving some money for the employer. So it is a really great strategy. I love to use it. But one thing I would provide for some advice is that before jumping into the plan, I would suggest ensuring that your children's pediatrician, right, any specialists that they visit, are in fact in network with the Child Health Plus plan. So that is one of the catches with Child Health Plus. Even though you can go with an Excelis Child Health Plus plan or MVP, it does have a little bit skinnier network. They call it a skinnier network because it just doesn't have the broad range of all Excelis network, for example. Okay. So that's one of the things I really, really do like to take advantage of. Have you guys talked about Child Health Plus in the past? Is that something that you've heard about, discussed with clients?
I just learned about this like a couple of years ago, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, just talking with some family members about it. They introduced me to the Child Health Plus, and it's insane the amount of money you can save.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. I think my family benefits was going to be,
this is going to be $1,700 for a family this year.
Yeah, $1,700.
$1,700 a month, you know, and that's a high deductible plan.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it would drop it down $600-700 a month by doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's an incredible savings.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's unfortunate with the skinnier network, but, you know, it may be worth looking into. You know, it's even with a skinnier network, or, you know, finding a different pediatrician or someone, you know. It's
just even having the option in general.
Yeah.
You know, not feeling like you're stuck in this particular thing. It's either this or no benefits at all.
Right.
Hope you don't get hit by a car on your way to work or something.
Yeah, and you know that's the tough thing that some people actually truly have to face, right? Yeah. Because the cost of benefits are so significant. Us as employers, we feel this pain. I pay for a large chunk of my employees' health plans. I know that you guys do the same, and that's one of the challenges, you know, us as employers have to face as well, is that not only is it expensive for our team, and are we trying to take care of our team, but, you know, at the same time, the team is also exposed to those high premiums. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's definitely, you know, and I don't see it changing as far as cost. So, you know, trying to take advantage of every little, you know, possible way of saving is crucial. Yeah.
Do you guys want to hear another one?
I would love to.
Yeah?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Save me money.
Yeah, let's see what we can do here. All right. So another one that I love to talk about is that more often than not, again, goes back to the high cost of health plans, more people are starting to gravitate towards those high deductible health plans.
Yep.
Super simple because it's the least expensive option that's out there. The question that a lot of the employees ask is, oh, how am I going to meet this massive deductible, right? That's a big concern for a lot of people. So let's think about situations in which you're likely to start meeting those maximum deductibles. It's typically only when there's catastrophic events. Yes, you could argue people who have maybe existing debilitating diseases that they have to manage, you know, blood disorders, things of that nature, that are just, you know, they're experiencing regularly.
Yeah.
But outside of that, typically when you see a catastrophic claim, it's because of something major, right? You have a diagnosis of cancer. You had a heart attack or a stroke, right? Something that was going to end you in the hospital, a lot of treatment, a lot of rehabilitation, therefore a lot of costs, right? So one of the things I like to talk about is 3 different solutions. There's accident coverage, there's specified disease or critical illness outside New York, and then hospital indemnity. And what these products do is they pay lump sums whenever you hit one of those catastrophic events. So let's say, for example, I have a heart attack. Yeah, I have a heart attack and I win. No, it's
Show them what you want.
it's such a dark way to look at it. But but this is a real challenge that people face. And,
Yes. Nailed it.
yeah. So this is a challenge that a lot of people face, and this can give them a little bit of comfort to know if something bad were to happen. I were to have a nasty accident and I were to get a really bad cut, a really bad burn, maybe I get a dismemberment or I become paralyzed, right? These are major incidences. Again, same cancer, stroke, heart attacks. Now, these benefits, these critical illness, hospital indemnity, and specified disease, and accident coverages, they pay out lump sums. And those lump sums you can use towards your high deductible. So now you're not responsible for coming out of pocket that full $8,500. Maybe $5,000 of it's already covered for you, maybe more, right? So really, really great solutions. And one of the other reasons I like this, and employers in general are okay with this, is because typically we design them as an employee paid solution, right? So there's no additional cost for the employer to roll out these benefits to their team. Their team can voluntarily choose to opt in or opt out of one or all of them or however they would like. But again, it's a great protection strategy when you're in those high deductible health plans to help meet some of those high deductibles.
So are these like riders that you can add? Is it through Excelis or is it through another company or?
Yeah, actually, great question, and I appreciate you asking that. So no, they are standalone solutions.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do know that there are individual health solution or individual insurance solutions that might be tied to your life insurance policy, for example. I do know that they do have some solutions in that regard, but these ones are specifically designed for employer groups, and they are their own standalone group benefits. So each of them are their own individual entities. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, that could be extremely helpful, to kind of pay for those. I just think about, kids and kids playing in sports and how often, they get hurt, break a bone, just.
I'm a mountain climber, love doing solo missions on mountains, and I loaded up on accident coverage. As you can imagine, God forbid I were to fall off the side of a mountain and get severely injured. Right. As morbid as it sounds, I loaded up on the accident coverage because it was important for me, because I too have a high deductible health plan. And if anything were to happen, okay, great. Now I'm covered with some significant lump sum coverage just in case worst case were to happen.
Right.
So it is something that your kids, they're playing the sports, football, soccer, accidents happen.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We just had a friend who was going down a slide with her kid. Her kid's probably he's only 3, and his leg got stuck under her, and he broke his femur.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Brutal.
That's so sad.
Oh, yeah. It's just like cringe thinking about it, but it can happen. Not even if you're playing sports, just going down a slide. It was like one of those metal slides, and his like shoe got stuck on the metal.
Oh.
Yeah.
Poor kid.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah. Man.
Ugh.
Well, thanks for that visual.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And that's the end of the podcast.
Take that one home with you.
So, what do you enjoy about your job, or like a benefit that you like to talk? Like, what do you enjoy the most?
Yeah. So I think if I just look at the generalities of what do I enjoy the most about what I do, I love being able to help businesses create a solution to help them recruit and retain some of their top talent. It feels really good to be able to go in there, to educate them on the solutions, help them build a budget around implementing these solutions, putting it in force, and then having reliable staff that can help them service that ongoing, right? I think there's a big need for this, right? Think about small businesses. Small businesses make up about 80% of all businesses in America. And I'm talking about employer groups that have 10 or less employees, right? 80% of all groups have less than 10 employees. They're not getting the attention that they deserve, right? And so when I go in and I'm able to help out one of these small groups, it does bring some sense of accomplishment, right? That I've done some good in our community, that I've done some good for our people. You know, when we talk about the commission piece of it, do you make a ton of money off these folks? I don't. But I look at, who am I? I'm a small business. We have 5 employees, right? I want my 401k guy, who is you guys, to help me out when I need it, and you were there for me, right? It's no different than I do for all of the other groups. So I love that aspect of it. It really brings a lot of joy into what I do day to day, without a doubt.
Is there a certain thing that kind of differentiates you from other providers? I guess, I'm sure there's a lot of different people in this industry, just like in our business. You can find them right around the corner. What kind of separates you from those other people?
Yeah, that's a good question too. I would have to say it's our partnerships with other professionals. Because of our model, where we rely 100% on referrals, and we're really good in the benefits space, it also kind of goes back around, where what we try to do with all of our groups is we want to be introduced to all their professionals they're working with. CPAs, their attorneys, their benefits, other benefits people, their 401k guy, their PNC person, their payroll company. We want to know who these professionals that they're working with are. And the simple reason being is that if we're all in regular communication and we're all working for one purpose, and that being the business, the chances of that business having a really great service experience from all of us is significantly higher than if we were all sitting in our own little silos.
So what I found is when you hire employees, not only do you want that top talent and someone that's going to represent you, but finding the right culture. So you're building a culture within the business that, you're creating. And so finding that person that fits that culture is really hard. Sometimes, the hardest part about having a new hire. Yeah,
because the people that you hire, you want them to represent your business the way that you represent it. It's got your name on it. It's your baby. So the people that you hire, you want them to have that same energy, that same purpose in your business, which is really difficult to find because they don't own the business.
Right.
They're there for a paycheck. They're there to do the job that you told them to do. They can go home at 5 o'clock or 4:30, whenever it is, and call it a day. You have to go home and keep working, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that is, that's one of the things that keeps me up at night, without a doubt, right? Is, am I maintaining a good culture? Am I doing the right things for my employees? Am I keeping them motivated and excited about next steps? And, are we moving in the right direction? Do they feel fulfilled in the stuff that they're doing? And these are the things that I work and I focus very heavily on, probably to a fault, that I'm just maybe too focused on it, where I could gear it back a little bit. But it is something that, in my own personal experience, I can see how if you don't focus on culture, how quickly that can turn. It can create a toxic
We've probably all been a part of a toxic work environment, or been part of a work environment where there was probably a bad apple within the group. And
it can destroy your entire service. It can destroy your business.
Yeah, and I think, for small businesses, in a large business, where there's thousands of employees, if there's a couple bad apples, it probably doesn't even
get lost in the shuffle.
It gets lost. But in a small business where there's 10 employees or 5 employees, one bad apple, that could be crucial to your business,
especially if they're customer facing, or if they're a high level role within your business and they're affecting everyone else's day to day. If they just have a bad attitude, or they just don't believe in the business itself, that can destroy you.
Yeah.
And it is difficult to find those people. I think that, one of the main factors that at least I've seen from my experience is making them feel like they are part of the business, that they have a purpose within the business, that they're not just another cog or a piece of the puzzle. To let them have that kind of appreciation for the business kind of makes them just internally want to do more. If you're like, hey, great job on that, you made a huge difference with such and such a client, or great job on the phone just then, that was exactly how we want to do things. Just makes people feel a little bit better.
Right.
They could get paid a good amount of money, but if they don't feel, kind of like you were saying, internally really good about what it is they're doing, they'll probably go find another job somewhere.
Right.
And one of the focuses, and I truly believe this, is my focus, ironically, is not actually on my clients. It is fully on my staff. So when I look at what it is that I do, I'm the face in regards to sales. I'm out there. I'm getting people interested in the Eveland Group, in our philosophy, and wanting to do benefits with us because we have this great model. But at the end of the day, once my period of pitching who we are and getting people interested in, the true face of the company is our support team, right? The account executives, the junior account executives, those are the folks that are interacting with these groups on a regular basis, right? Daily emails, daily phone calls, sometimes good situations, oftentimes not the greatest situations. And my philosophy is that if I can truly cater to my employees and I make them happy and they do feel fulfilled and they enjoy coming to work, right? Chances are is that is going to come across to our groups. And they're going to be like, wow, you know what? I really like working with them. Despite the fact that there's some incidents that happen, maybe the carrier screwed something up. We're all human. I mean, we make mistakes every once in a while, but we're a lot more forgiving when the employee is having a great experience with that group. And it does help with that overall relationship.
Tremendously.
Yeah, I mean,
100%.
especially with like your high energy, being in the front facing like that sales side, if it doesn't match the back end of that business, and they're like, hey, Eric really hyped up his business. He really sold me on this service. I called his company. We started going through things, and then his staff on the back end are just like, oh yeah, going through the motions. I feel like I just got sold.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, in having that culture, because, in our business, with volatility in the markets, there's times where we have difficult conversations or, something might happen. And if you have employees or staff or team that are positive and are great to talk to and staying on top of things and getting things done, that's going to go so much further than, like you said, just hyping it up in the beginning and then there's, you're not fulfilling it on the backside. So what is it? You don't want to overpromise
And underdeliver.
and underdeliver.
I was thinking of the, what's that movie? Gosh, who is it? It's back in the 90s, not Black Sheep, but the other one. Where he's selling brake pads for his dad.
Oh, Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy.
Yes, about a guaranteed piece of. Can get a good look at a steak by sticking his head up a bowl.
Yeah. But cool. Yeah. No, so again, I think bringing it all back, having the right team, providing the right education, service, is really important to, what we do and, what you do at the Eveland Group. Well, I appreciate, unless you have anything else.
No, this was an incredible experience. I appreciate you both bringing me in here as your numero uno.
This is
Right.
exciting. This is great. I hope we get some good clips out of this. And,
Absolutely.
And I hope that it's well received from your client's perspective.
I think we set the bar too high.
Yeah.
Right. I
Yes.
think so.
I think so. I think this might have to be the last one we do.
You might have hyped it up way too much.
Way too much. I don't know if we can deliver on the back end now.
Yeah, we set the bar way too high. But
I'll just come in here every week with you guys.
There you go. There you go. I like it.
Yeah, I'm sure we can find another topic to go on.
Yeah.
PD and Eveland Group. Is that too soon for time?
That was really good off the cuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you again. I appreciate you coming out and joining us, learning a little bit more about your business and what everything you do for your clients. Any other questions, feel free to shoot them over to either us or Eric. I'm sure his contact information's out there. We'll provide it somehow. But thank you again, everyone. And I'm sure we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.